Red Bull Rant is a free-flowing podcast with three soccer-loving idiots who don't know when to shut their dumb potty mouths. So listener discretion, yeah, it's pretty much advised.
Welcome, my friends, to the show that never ends. This is the Red Bull Rant podcast. I'm your host, Jason I. Picco.
I'm Truman, and this is episode 503, Home Dud. I can't believe I have to say this already. I can't believe I'm already mad.
I think we should have seen it coming, honestly.
Oh, but this sucked.
Yep. The Bulls lost their first home game 3-0 to Montreal. The team that scored 0 goals and gave up 8 over their first 2 games.
Well, didn't that turn around in a hurry?
Yeah. All right. Let's get into it with you have Blue Sky, Instagram, whatever.
Yep. I'll read you the couple comments we got. So Jeremiah on Blue Sky, he mentioned it on the last show, right? We did not respond in-game to the early mistake. Not good, but the hope is it leads to a better team next week. Of most concern is how both our wingers got locked out of the game for a second week in a row. We need a lot more from the wide areas and those guys. Very true. And then let me go to our Instagram. And our good friend Eddie said, now, to preface this, if you didn't notice, I put it in our Instagram stories that they had a sperm bank ad running on the ribbon board, so that was interesting. Sperm bank / RBNY. So there you go.
Yeah, they weren't the only. You weren't the only one to notice that.
Yeah. So I mean, it's leading to Eddie's comment, and he said maybe the sperm bank will spawn us new children from Michael Bradley's child labor army. It was definitely not pretty. Bad, not good. I want to hope it's a speed bump, but that's my comment.
Yeah. All right. Want to know how bad this was? Our old friend, who hasn't been on the show in a while, sent us a voicemail. Let me play that real quick.
Hey, what's going on, Red Bull Rant? It's former co-host Patrick McDonald, and I just want to chime in right now and apologize to all of the Red Bull faithful, because every time I start to believe in this team and I decide to go to a game, especially a game against an opponent that was a fucking dumpster fire, before said game, the Red Bulls lose in absolutely spectacular fucking fashion like they did against Montreal tonight. So once again, it is my fault. I got my bad stank on this team. I really do apologize. This team has been bad ever since I bought season tickets. They've been a perennial mediocrity. That's my bad. I really do apologize. So just wanted to get that out there. But in all seriousness, though, I am afraid. I'm afraid this is just like many other times you see in sports when a shiny new toy like our young trio takes the field, takes the court, takes the ice, whatever sport it is. You know, they take the league by surprise, but then they get a little bit of tape on them, and the league catches up. That's my fear of what's happening here. My hope is that this upcoming road trip doesn't go so poorly, that they right the ship. Bradley's got something, tricks up his sleeves. Let's hope this is just a one-off, but what a fucking dumpster fire. See you guys later.
So, yeah.
I mean, what more can you say? I guess we're just going to blame Pat for when anything goes wrong this year.
Yeah, you know, that's not a bad idea.
Right?
Maybe I should get the Blame Canada song. Not so famously is a supporter of Canadian soccer, at least at the national level.
Yeah.
We could just, if we want to blame him, that'll be our go-to for it. I'm going to do that after we're done recording today. Time for our likes and dislikes. Truman, you go first. What did you dislike the most about this match?
A ton. but I guess I'll narrow it down because there's so much to get mad at. You'll probably pick something a little bit different than I will. But we said before the season started, I believe, when we're talking about our goalies, just don't make dumb decisions. And a dumb decision buried this team. That pass from Horvath, I don't know what the fuck he was thinking. I don't know. You never do that. You never just stand in front of your net, pass the guy also right in front of the net. Like, you clear it out to the sides. I don't get it. You are a professional. That is just... It is just a do not do it anytime. I don't care if there's no one on the field. Like, you just don't do that. And that pretty much put an end to this game because, as we knew, the Red Bulls weren't really doing anything leading up to that point either. But that was the knife in the heart right there.
I will go the lack of creativity in the offense. I don't know. I guess New England, we only scored a goal. But we showed more initiative in our first two games than we did in this one. I don't know if it's because Truman came in. I don't know if I forget who he replaced because I know we had two guys out. Was it Doncor that he was taking the place of?
Oh, I can't remember.
Honestly, I can't remember the midfielder who got taken off, but I don't. Maybe Chupamote's no longer a starter, at least for this team. I feel like we had no creativity. It was like watching last year all over again. Reverting to let's just put the ball out wide and hope we can get a person on the other end of it. That's not how we have to win games. At least that's not how Michael Bradley wants to win games. Let's put it that way.
Right.
So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe that changes. I know pressing works better on the road than it does at home. Because when you're on the road, the other team always has the impetus to score because they're at home. They want to please their fans. And you can generally sit back a little bit more and just counter all the time. But I don't know. They got to do something offensively. They got to be more I said creativity, but maybe just more consistent. They got to be more consistent in what they're doing.
Yeah. Jeremiah said it great, too. You know, the lack of the wings creating any real chances, that definitely hurt them. And they have to be the ones that figures this out sooner than later.
I mean, our goal against New England came off of the short corner, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, because Forsberg had cross wasn't great, but at least it found the player. He got headed on. But there was none of that kind of stuff that happened this week.
No, nothing.
Right. Likes, is there anything to take away from this game?
I have racked my brain thinking of something positive. I can't think of, like, they didn't look good. I can't say, well, the defense held in because, again, a little bit more to say after that, a couple afterthoughts, but they played it on a Sunday afternoon and it was like I could have been doing something else better with my time than watching that game. I mean, I guess the only thing I said was positive that, unlike Pat, I was not there to see it in person. That's all I have for this.
I thought of one thing that was just kind of, and it's really random. The grass looked better. And I mean, not granted, New England was because it snowed the week before. How good is our grounds crew that field went from looking the way it did against New England to looking almost brand new against Montreal in a week?
I think they definitely have the best grounds crew in MLS. From what we've seen, how they treat this field, it's very rare that it looks rough. A couple times here and there, it's looked bad, right? Early season, you're not surprised. It's hard to keep that grass fresh, but that is a strong positive that pitch almost always looks fantastic. Now, I don't know what it's going to look like after Iron Maiden plays there in September. It might be a little roughed up. Just saying.
Yeah, the Stadium Series is not a great idea. Or whatever they're calling it. Stadium Series. Whatever they're...
Not for nothing, I'm going to be there. Just saying. I was not missing a chance to see Iron Maiden in Red Bull Arena. Like, what more could you ask for?
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. That would make sense to go. I'm just saying, the field, it doesn't doesn't make sense for the field. But
Also, I feel that I know Iron Maiden are big West Ham supporters, but are you missing out on will they miss out on the opportunity to have a custom Red Bull-esque Iron Maiden jersey for that show? I mean, I don't think you can make merch for one show, not a whole tour, but man, a Red Bull themed Maiden soccer jersey. Oh, just give it to me.
I mean, they've already done it. Music-inspired jersey before. Why not?
Yep. But the tough part, it would be for just one show, but I don't care. Oh, actually, I think they added a second date. So there you go, 2 shows.
They could probably get away with it. At least a small run.
Yeah. Oh, I would love it.
All right, afterthoughts. I got to bring this up. I didn't want to bring it up in the likes and dislikes because this is not an excuse. But the penalty. We got to talk about it. I think it's a borderline call. I could go either way, and to me that means you got to kind of give it to the defender only because he did get the ball. Mm-hmm. But it's just the fucking consistency from the ref after that was atrocious. Like, how does Julian Hall get taken down when the ball's a clear 2-3 feet away from him? Nothing, and clearly the ball was not touched. It's not even a foul.
You're right, and like we say a million times, right? It's not a reason they lost the game, but it was very poorly officiated. Poorly. Even the VAR check, when I think the announcers were like, he is touching the ball first, like you could see the ball deflect. He still decided it was a penalty. I mean, whatever. But I was a little surprised they didn't turn that over. Now, see it during the play, yeah, you called a foul. But you're right. Like once that happened, I think he lost it. He really lost a little bit of control of that game. And it's not us being home fans, but I'm with you. I was a little shocked that there weren't more called in that game.
And I'll admit, once it hit 3-0, I turned it off because I was not watching live, so I said, fuck it, it's not worth it.
I mean, there's nothing to see.
Yeah. When there were a few times we went down the box, and at first I'm like, yeah, that's a penalty. And then I saw the replay, I was like, no, you know what? Fuck it. We did try to get one there. But for the most part, he was very inconsistent after that penalty.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Don't know.
But
he lost the plot, as they say.
Yeah. Well, at least it did. At least it wasn't a worse emotional outburst from the players. Mostly was Forsberg, right?
Yeah. My afterthought on this is that that easily could have been a 0-0 game because it was 3 bad, no excuse plays, right? The penalty, right? I mean, minutes into the game, really inexcusable to do that so early in a game. Wiki Carmona's first goal, how are you letting that ball just not even quickly roll in, just roll right into the net like no one got a foot on that? That was shocking.
Yeah, that really was.
Great play on him, but still completely shocking that ended up going in the net. Like
he actually get credit. Wiki actually get credit for that goal because I thought it came off of somebody on the way in.
He did. He got that goal because he scored 2. Because he scored the one that Horvath gave up too. So like 3 bad plays. And again, they did nothing, so it could have been a 0-0 game, like I said. But just piss poor mistakes early in the season. Now let's get out of your system. Get that shit out of your system. Do not let it happen again. Just don't. I don't want to see another season of them fucking committing stupid penalties in the box.
All right. Any other afterthoughts?
That was it. That was my afterthought. That my fucking 2-minute piss and moan.
Okay. All right, real quick, I just wanted to see something. Just a possession in this. That's weird. Looking at the stats for the season opener, there's at least on Google, there's no possession number. I was trying to see if we lost because we had more possession than we usually do, but I can't tell. So predictions still tied at 1 because fuck us for thinking the Red Bulls are going to win. Red Bulls though will continue their Canadian. I thought I had some funny way of saying playing Canadian teams, but taking on Toronto this Saturday, March 14th, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. which, let me say, I didn't realize this until I looked at the time today. Between daylight savings time and the schedule, fuck this, because the Red Bulls and Everton are playing are overlapped by half an hour or an hour. So now I got to decide which one I'm going to watch live. And I say that because I have access to the Everton radio feed, and I love their home guy, the radio feed that they provide.
Yep.
So I don't know, because some of the MLS broadcasters are really bland. So.
Yeah, this schedule has sucked for my personal viewing. It really has sucked.
What happened to just like consistent times? Like that was supposed to be a whole thing now.
Yeah, right. They told us over and over again. Oh, it's gonna be 7:30 games. 7:30 games. Well, maybe one game will be in a different time. No, not again. We're playing on a fucking Sunday. Playing on a Saturday afternoon. Now we're playing on another fucking Saturday afternoon. They've played one game at the 7:30 time slot,
and
correct?
It was the season opener.
Yeah, one.
Let's see. So I'm looking at the schedule, right? So they played. New England was, I think, a 4:30 start on a Saturday. Montreal was a 4:30 on a Sunday. Toronto was a 1 on a Saturday, which, okay, fair enough. In fairness, they're in Toronto where it's fucking cold, so 1 o'clock on a Saturday makes sense. But then, let's see. So they got 3 weeks in a row of 7:30 games. Then they go to Montreal and play at 2:30 in the morning, or 2:30 in the afternoon.
God.
3 more 7:30 games. Then it's 2:30, and then back to 7:30s and 8:30s for a while. It's like it's the Canadian teams for some reason. That's really what it is. Because Canadian teams in New England. That's what it ends up being.
It's just annoying.
If this is what it's going to be like because of the winter.
Oh my God!
I don't know what's going to happen during the fucking fall.
Oh my God! 11 a.m.
European
games.
Calendar, yeah.
Can't wait.
We late games in the early season and the end of the season, but it's going to be daylight games in the middle of the season.
Can't wait.
All right. Anyway, Toronto 20-26, a 1-0-2 record, 3 points, -3 goal difference, 9th in the Eastern Conference. Last year they finished with a record of 6-14-14, 36 points at -7 goal difference, 12th in the Eastern Conference. Last year, head-to-head at home, the Red Bulls won 2-1. On the road in Toronto, it was a 1-1 draw. Truman, you're up first. What do you think is going to happen on Saturday?
I don't know. Last time we played a team that sucked, they kicked our ass. So I'm a little worried. You do have to mention that this is a Canadian homecoming for Michael Bradley. You know, the other team he spent most of his career with, so I don't know how he's going to be treated.
He did retire. He after he's over in Toronto, he retired. He didn't play for anybody else, right?
Right. But I don't fucking know. I don't know, because you had an amazing game against Orlando, which now I have a feeling that Orlando is no good. You had a barely beat Revs who suck. That loss to Montreal was terrible. But I don't know. I don't. They're very confusing. I'm gonna get it wrong because I'm gonna say a 1-1 draw because I think this team. I don't think they're gonna fully recover from that loss. I would love it if they do. Maybe they'll have this amazing thing where they're great on the road. I don't know. But that's just my safe bet is a draw. It's just playing it safe. Because, of course, I can't watch it live because I'll be at work. Because, of course.
I mean, one of the most Red Bull things ever would be to just win every road game, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not winning. At least I don't think we're going to win. Honestly, I'm not even sure a draw realistically is going to happen because I think this is Toronto's home opener. Which, as a side note, how was Toronto starting the season at home before Montreal? I think Montreal is north compared to Toronto. I didn't think the weather was that much different between the two. It just seems weird to me.
Yeah, I wouldn't think it's that much of a difference either.
Though, actually, not thinking about it, Montreal, because I was there once. They have underground passages to get between buildings because of how cold it can be. So maybe that might be the why. They play in the what is it? Olympic Stadium.
Yeah, I wish they would.
Usually,
I wish they would still do that. That would be still cool to start the season in that building.
Home of Blue Mountain State.
Yeah, it's a cool place, and I think the fans love it. I mean, it's not the greatest of pitches, but still.
Yeah, but that Blue Mountain State's a deep cut for anybody that actually gets it.
Oh, that show, yeah. I
was curious if you're going to get that without me really pushing it, but
yeah.
I think it's going to be a tight game. I don't think we're going to win. I'm going to be a little different. I'm going to say it's a 2-1 loss on the road.
Oof.
We're going to lose the Canadian double. That's where I'm going with it.
Oh, I don't like it. I don't like it
either, but that's just unfortunate. I think where we're going. But prove me wrong. I mean, not, but prove me wrong. All right. Red Bulls 2, last match they won 3-0 against Inter Miami 2. Their record is 2-0-0, 6 points, a +5 goal difference, fourth in the Eastern Conference, off to a good start this year. Next match is at New York City FC 2 on Sunday, March 15th, 4:15 p.m. Eastern Time. Gotham FC starts their 2026 season and hope to repeat as NWSL champions, where they will travel to take on the newly formed Boston Legacy Saturday, March 14th, 12:30 p.m. Look, if you wanted to watch Red Bulls and Gotham FC, those games overlap. So, yeah.
Oh, man, this schedule's terrible.
Yeah. Anyway, with that, it is time for the F1 update.
What the fuck was he doing? Honestly. Is he a fucking prick or what?
That's a George Russell clip, I believe, yes?
Yes, I had it ready. I'm looked at it.
It.
I was about to click on the normal one. I was like, wait, we have a Russell one. I got to do that one next.
I think that makes sense now. What an insane weekend to start the Formula One season with these new cars. We could probably spend a half hour talking about it. It was batshit crazy. You had 6 cars not finish the race. You had Max crash out in the first round of qualifying. He still finished 6th because he's Max Verstappen. He's unbelievable. You had Isaac Hajar qualified 3rd, was it?
Third, and he finished 5th.
You know, and then
he didn't finish 5th. He finished behind Max.
Finish. He didn't finish because his car shit the bed.
He just gave out.
Yep, just completely just frapped out, like Nico Hulkenberg's did. Oscar Piastri crashes, not even in the warm-up lap. His car crashed driving to the starting grid, which was
reconnaissance lap, as they call it.
Unbelievable, because I watched the whole first hour before the race because I'm all hyped up. You know, first race of the year, I got to watch everything. I couldn't believe that even happened. That was completely insane. I think there's already drivers complaining about the cars. There's a lot of that going around. But this is what I will say. A lot of the race was very exciting early on, with so much passing back and forth with Charles Leclerc and George Russell. I had no idea until this weekend that they said Mercedes is now and George Russell's the clear favorite, because I don't pay attention to a lot of that stuff. But the way I felt about it, with Hajar qualifying so well, I don't see a reason why Red Bull, with the best driver on planet Earth, couldn't be in contention for the championship this year if that car does not shit the bed again and Hajar can drive and qualify like that. That's what they need, is someone up there with him. Max is such a fucking good driver. Him going from the bottom, almost the bottom of the grid, to 6th place because he's him. I think they have a really good chance to either chase for the championship or the Constructors' Championship. I think it's going to be exciting. I think Ferrari looked great. I think it might be the most exciting season we'll have in a while. I mean, last year's finish was pretty fantastic, but I'm hoping to see more guys in contention for the Drivers' Championship, which would be awesome. It's going to be interesting to see through this season how these cars hold up and how the drivers adapt to how they perform.
Yeah, so I think there was 2 cars that didn't even start technically. One obviously was Piastri. For some reason I thought the other was Hulkenberg, but I don't know if that's true. You had
It was Nico Hulkenberg.
Okay. You had Lance Stroll retire the car. You had Fernando Alonso retire the car, then get back out on track, and then seemingly retire and then finish the race. Like, it was like they had to finish the race. I know there's some like tiebreaker about races you finish for the Constructors' Championship, but man, amount of problems.
Yeah.
And if I and correct and that was the other thing. There was the one yellow flag because of a virtual safety car because Kimi Antonelli came out of the pits with the fans still attached to the car.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that one was during qualifying, or was it during the race? No, it was during the race. Where he somehow ended up with a fan on the car, and it came off on track.
Yeah,
it was just crazy.
Checo had parts just flying right off of his car too at one point.
Yeah,
the virtual safety car because shit was just flying off. I did kick over to just the Max Verstappen view, which was cool. I wish there was a way you can get I like hearing the driver audio, but it's so kind of muffled you can't hear very clear. But it was cool to watch just going to his car and seeing him just fucking pass people left and right. I like that they had the charging meters, right? They showed you how much battery each car had when they were like 2 cars like in competition with each other.
Yep.
That was really cool. It's going
to bring back the 3 digits for the time.
Yeah, it's going to be a wacky season, which I'm kind of looking forward to.
Yeah.
You know what's going to suck though? Monaco will still not be competitive because it's still that fucking track where you can't pass ever.
Well, who knows with how the cars just crap out? Maybe it's all about who craps out when.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
The one thing I will say though is for Apple TV, and I found out the hard way. So they touted being able to do the multi-view, like having the race and like Max's feed or whoever next to it. Only works if you're using Apple hardware. Like you need the Apple TV 4K or the iPad with the specific version, or I think they're the iOS with the specific version. But what I found is if you use the F1 TV, which we get for free with Apple TV anyway, then you just change the audio to the international, which is Sky Sports.
Yeah.
And then you can add your multi-stream.
I'll have to
Although it's only on the phone. I think on the Roku it doesn't do that for some.
Yeah, then it doesn't work for me anyway either which way. So I'm just stuck with the regular Apple TV broadcast, which was fine enough. But I didn't get to hear it, and it's lights out, and I miss that voice. I miss that Sky broadcast.
So the Sky broadcast is on Apple. It's just they for some reason bury it.
Yeah. It's not as good.
But there is a Sky Sports section on Apple. You just gotta look for it. Or the other thing is just use the F1 TV app and then just switch it to the audio feed, to international. You'll get the Sky Sports guys.
Yeah, I'll have to do that.
All right. Anything else for F1 or moving on?
Well, China this weekend. So there you go. Really, unfortunately, you and I will not be watching this live at all unless we are suffering with insomnia for some crazy reason. This is not even one I couldn't even begin to try to stay up. I think the race starts at 3 a.m. So it's going to be.
I was looking at. I know qualifying is 3 a.m.
I'm almost positive. I just looked. The race is at 3 a.m. 3 a.m. So it's going to be those wake up, don't look at my phone. That's all it's going to be. Just wake up, put the race on.
So F1 TV has an F1 Kids broadcast during the race.
Ooh.
I'm kind of curious what that is.
Doing it for the children.
Yep. They looked at Nickelodeon's NFL coverage like, we got to do that too.
Yeah. We're going to dump slime on the cars.
All right. With that, it is time for the dumping ground.
I'm the trash man.
Well, I'm mad at myself. I'm going to tell everybody why, because I can't believe I fucked this up. So my wife and I, we always watch The Masked Singer, and I don't really pay attention to a lot of the clues, because half the time I don't even know who the fuck these people are. Unless it's someone so obvious that you, like Tone Loc. You can't mistake who Tone Loc is. But the one contestant had this big robot outfit on, and he was saying the answer's right in front of you, and my wife's like, well, his head's a soccer ball. I'm like, shit, his head is a soccer ball. And then he had on this chest that said 22 with a V underneath. I'm like, fuck. So, of course, now I'm going online. I'm Googling famous number 22s. Best, 22s to wear to play soccer. And it's like Gareth Bale, and I think like Kaku, and I'm like, well, it's not those. Is it Gareth Bale? I'm like, there's no way Gareth Bale, because you would hear his Welsh accent. And I completely missed the part where they had a hint about being in New England. So if I remembered that, I would have realized that it was fucking Alexei Lawless. I look like an idiot. I looked at my wife. I'm like, this guy's been on the show twice, right? I think he's been on our podcast twice.
Possibly at least once. I don't know if he's done two. At least
I'm
once.
like, this is a guy who's been on our show, who I've met and shook hands with. I have a picture with him. How did I fuck this up? I knew he was in a band and can play guitar and can sing, but I don't pay attention enough to the show I didn't fucking put the clues together. I apologize, everybody. I'm a terrible host that I did not recognize one of our own guests. And I'm like, and duh, the show's on Fox, so of course he was on it, because he's a Fox guy. I was so mad at myself.
Former Red Bull player and GM.
Yep. My wife goes, do you want to rewind the show so you can pretend that you guessed it correctly? I'm like, no, it's too late. It's just too late. So yeah, that's my embarrassing story.
Okay. I guess for me, it's
The goddamn Jets.
bringing back Geno Smith.
Oh, what a star! And they had to trade for him, by the way.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I think we traded a 6th-round pick, got him in a 7th.
Mm-hmm.
And Vegas is covering like all but like $1 million of his salary.
Right. Yeah. Right. They are just paying him league minimum.
So pretty much, Jets make out in this deal because they basically got a bridge QB till next season.
But you know what the biggest problem is, right? Because I'm sure you think about it, and the fucking radio guys talk about it all the time. Now, mind you, Geno Smith was on definitely one of the worst teams on the planet besides the Jets last year, and that's the fucking Raiders. That team absolutely sucks. But if they stink again, so Aaron Glenn gets fired, right? Like this team is a fucking mess. They're such a disaster because they can't draft a top quarterback, right? Because there's really only one of them. There's only really one.
And there's no way we're getting that spot from Vegas. So.
Right, because they are taking him. So that's completely out. You have to get these, like you said, bridge quarterbacks that you're hoping I don't know, suck just enough to be able to maybe move one of your picks, the extra picks that you have to go move up in the draft. Like, they're so fucked. This team they are a fucking mess right now. They are such a mess. And
but the only thing I'm going to say is right now, the Jets have 3 first-round picks in the 27 draft.
Mm-hmm.
You get one from
the Colts.
We get one from the Colts, and we get one from Dallas.
Yep.
Which came from Green Bay. So the way it works is we get either Dallas's original or the selection that they acquired from Green Bay, I guess based on whichever one's better. But realistically, you have a 3-32 shot at a top pick.
Mm-hmm.
Which is not great when you're looking at how this organization is, but if you look to rebuild, then maybe it works out.
But so, and then again, like you have Brees Hall, who's like pissing and moaning and bitching about everything.
Oh, he is.
Right?
He's not even caring about subtlety at this point. So.
Right, he wants to be gone. And how long can you keep an amazing wide receiver in Garrett Wilson there happy until he wants to leave because the team sucks? Like they need to show some semblance of being fucking competent this year, and I just don't know how.
Yeah, like I just saw Quentin Williams is gone now.
Yep.
He just walked, which I don't blame him.
Nope. I don't know. Like, at least with the Giants, like, they did the right thing and got a real coach, not a first-time coach, what the Justice fucking love to do for some insane reason. They made some good signings. They'll have a good high draft pick. They got a good young talent, right? So you have a guy like Malik Neighbors, a great wide receiver that I don't think he's going to be pissing and moaning about getting traded. But that is the Jets' MO, because they also had a guy named Keyshawn Johnson who fucking also left that team. And, went on to win a Super Bowl, by the way.
Yeah, I feel like the problem with the Jets is right now is every time they go to rebuild, right, they just completely just get so unlucky with timing, right?
Yep.
When Aaron Glenn was hired, and this is not to bash Aaron Glenn, what veteran coach was out there for them to get?
Right. No one really. Nobody. There was no guy where you were like, oh man, go get John Harbaugh, right? Go get Mike Tomlin.
Well, there was one guy, but realistically, that guy was never coming anyway because he always wanted to go to New England.
Right. Yeah, that was Mike Vrabel was.
Everybody knew Vrabel was going to New England, so that was never going to happen.
So you can strike him out immediately. Right. There was no other guy like, oh my God, this can be the turnaround. They need
years before that, when Salah was hired.
Yep.
Again, there was really no veteran established coach that they're like, hey, this is who we should get.
Yep. And then, like, again with the draft, they suck, and they win one game that costs them the number one pick.
And when they had a very decent QB draft when they got Zach Wilson.
Yep.
And they bought into his pro day. And it's like, well, look at these other quarterbacks that are available that all got picked in the first round that you skipped over.
Yep. Never forget this is the team that skipped over Dan Marino.
And Josh Allen.
Yeah. Now, again, they did pick Ken O'Brien, who was very good, but it was not Dan Marino.
Well, I'm wondering if Dan Marino would have actually won the Super Bowl with us or not.
He would not. He would have also, Ken O'Brien would have been, breaking records with the Dolphins. Because they had a guy named Don Shula, so.
We need a Bill Parcells type back.
Well, what's going to happen? They're going to absolutely suck it up, and then they'll fire Aaron Glenn after 2 years and get a high draft pick, and then sign Mike Tomlin.
I don't even know if I want Tomlin, honestly.
Because I don't know I just don't know what this team's going to do.
Honestly, the biggest problem is the one that owns the team. Oh.
Yeah, that is you're 100% correct. That is the biggest problem.
Because realistically, it's not going to matter what happens until he sells.
Right. 100%.
Because if you look at Woody Johnson's history of owning the Jets, right, they were decent, right? We'll call them decent up until last time they made the playoffs was They were decent up until 2010-11, the 2011-12 season. That's the last time they made the AFC Championship. Ironically, the last time we were in the playoffs, we made the AFC Championship game.
Yeah. Yep, the Rex Ryan era. That was forever ago.
Which that even though Woody had owned the team, right? A lot of that foundation came because of Parcells, right? It was Parcells' guys and Herm's guys. Like the culture was there. Rex. Then once Rex was gone, culture went to shit because Woody Johnson became like, oh, I want to hang out with the players and look popular kind of thing.
Yep.
Meanwhile, Sam Darnold gets drafted and then goes and wins the Super Bowl with Seattle.
He sure did. That will not be the same. That will not be the same with Zach Wilson. You don't have to worry about that.
No.
Don't you worry.
I'm not worried about that. Zach Wilson's perfectly happy to collect a paycheck and chase MILFs around all day.
Yeah.
Yeah. This franchise is cursed right now until Woody Johnson sells. I mean, the time period he was gone as ambassador to the UK, his brother created the worst fucking uniforms the Jets ever had.
He did. That is true.
Oh. Yeah. Anyway, that's enough about the
Goddamn Jets.
Anything else for Dumping Ground?
That's all I got.
All right, then that brings us to the last segment of the show, Truman's Terrible Team of the Week.
That's terrible.
I'm going to give it to the Galaxy because they got stomped by Colorado 4-1. I believe they had a guy sent off in the 60th minute, which cost them. Hold on, I want to make sure I had it correct. I think it cost them 3 goals. I think they gave up 3 goals when they lost the player in the 60th minute. So that's well deserved. Be the terrible team of the week. Is LA going to be terrible again?
Why? Why is LA why not Orlando?
No, I'm gonna give it to LA. Didn't I give it to Orlando the other? I gave it to Orlando. Well, first of all, hold on. I already gave it to Orlando 2 weeks ago or last week, right?
You gave it to Orlando
when they blew it to Miami.
Right, but they lost 5-0 to New York City with their goalkeeper getting a red card before any of those goals were scored.
But so you want me to give that team credit for doing something? You want me to give NYCFC credit for doing something? Unless they're beating DC 5-0. No.
No, when you talk about it like that, yeah, you get a point.
Yeah, not doing it. Just not. They beat DC 5-0, we'll talk. Right? Maybe if they beat Philly 5-0, we'll talk. But nah. I did watch a video on what their new stadium's going to look like, and it looks pretty cool. I'll give them that.
Everybody in the U.S. should be thanking the Red Bulls, though. We set the standard for all these stadiums that came after us.
Yeah, of course we did. And then some still fucked it up, like Philly. They still built a shit-ass stadium. Imagine seeing Red Bull Arena go, you know what? We're going to make a crappy stadium, and we're going to put it in a terrible place.
Yep.
I'm sorry, that stadium sucks. There's no getting around how much that stadium sucks. Sorry, Rich Ransom, homie, my friend. You're a good man, but your team stadium sucks.
Can't really expand it because you're under a fucking bridge.
Yeah.
Although, in fairness, parking is a lot easier there than it is at Red Bull Arena.
Sure. Well, that's that right. Okay, so they win in parking a lot, but that's all they win.
That's all they get. All right, should we wrap this one up?
Yes, let us.
Okay, visit us at patreon.com/Red Bull Rant. $1 a month gets you.
Gets Jay sick.
Oh, it just gets my sinuses. That's what it is. I had the fucking sinus pressure right. You ever get that sinus pressure that's like right above the bridge of your nose and behind your eyes?
Oh, yeah.
That's what it was on Monday for me. I've just been dealing with it since then. Anyway, $1 a month gets you exclusive content whenever we decide to do it. I thank our producers, Jeremiah Dempster, Steven Santos, Eddie Delecto. Thank you for supporting the show. Email us, redbullrant@gmail.com. If you want to call us, get your voice on the show, 973-348-5329. Facebook.com/RedBullRant. On Blue Sky at Red Bull Rant for the show, at Doc the Stooge for myself, at the Truman for Truman. Instagram and Threads at Red Bull Rant for the show, at Doc the Stooge for myself, and at Truman 237. I think. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay, there you go. I was doing so good with the mute button.
You were.
Subscribe to our show via iTunes, YouTube Music, YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify, pretty much anywhere you can find a podcast. Last words before we get out of here.
We need a good Eddie Rant voicemail. Just saying. I'm glad he commented on Instagram. Go follow us on Instagram. We don't have a lot of followers there. I'm going to try to post a little bit more. Obviously, I can't on fucking Saturday because they're playing at 1 o'clock. You know, it would have been nice if I could, but I'll be at work because they just can't fucking play at 7 o'clock at night. That being said, like I said, Canadian homecoming for Michael Bradley. Guys, get out there. Fucking prove us wrong. We don't want to be down for too long. We don't want to see a repeat of next year. You got our hopes up in the first 2 games of the year. Continue it. Continue the youth movement. Choupo-Moting, let's get on the fucking scoreboard. Emil Forsberg get on the scoreboard, not just the kids. Let's get out there. Let's go to fucking Canada, and let's fucking win.
Yep. All right, so for Truman and myself, this has been episode 503 of the Red Bull Rant. Thank you guys for tuning in, and as always, go Red Bulls.
See ya later.